And also, before everybody gets all up in arms with me, I'm just going off the facts here. So please don't try to substitute your feelings over my facts, okay? Because your feelings aren't facts. You can feel that way, but that doesn't make it true, it doesn't make it real. And the facts are, he spent his entire adult life since his early 20s pretty, a millionaire. He's not, if he had any struggle as a kid, he's in his, 60s now? That's been 40 years ago, man. He doesn't remember that life. Not the same way. He's been mega rich far longer than he ever was. And I don't even think he was poor. The facts are is his mom was like a really well-known costume designer. Alice Cooper was his babysitter. So I don't think he had like crazy financial struggle as a kid. I know he has some weirdness with his dad and stuff like that, but I mean, his mom clearly came in and took care of him and all the rest of it. So, um, and the thing is like everybody's just like, oh, his sister had cancer, oh, his baby died, oh, this, oh, that. And it's just like, yeah, that's all really, really sad. It is. But, that happens to other people all the time too. And they're not being labeled as super nice people, and all that money, I'm sure, cushioned a lot of the blow. So, and I'm not trying to be insensitive here, it's just like, I've lost a kid too, not the same way. Uh, I lost my kid in a very unfair way. It wasn't fair to me or my kid, and nobody showed me any sympathy. If anything, you all have made fun of my race. You've threatened me. You've threatened my life. You still have this victim mentality towards me. But if I try to talk about anything I've been through, and it's all fact, you all try to play me like I'm the one with the victim mentality. And the thing is like you come in and I'm literally talking about people shoving guns in my face, and you all are still trying to make me out the bad guy. And it's just like, you don't understand the law. And if somebody is shoving a gun in your face, you're well within your rights to protect yourself at any cost, pretty much. So, that's a fact. So, I mean, you just have this magical ability of twisting everything, taking everything out of context. You're just die hard crazy to just paint me as something I'm not. And then you just keep making yourselves look like the fools you are. I digress. So, Keanu, he's had some tragedy, but I've had a very tragic life. I know a lot of people that have had very tragic lives. We're not millionaires. We're still living in the real world in a real way. And I'm just not in the business of having some dude that's been a gazillionaire for being pretty and, landing a few one-liners try and tell me about what life is. Because he might understand what life is for being a millionaire, but that's not the average person. That's not a majority of the population. It's really tone deaf. And I'm sorry, but I just don't feel like any of those people ever relate to me, because they don't. You need to stop pretending that those people are relatable. Yeah, 2026, it looks like we're having some good movies come out, finally. It's been a drought for how many years? 15 at least. There's been a 15-year drought in movie land. I mean, be realistic. The last 15 years has been nothing but a fucking Marvel chop chop. And just a bunch of weirdness. And, I did see his newer movie on Apple TV. It's called Outcome. You know, it was talking about how he's some mega superstar that everybody loves, and he starts getting blackmailed because things from his past they're trying to keep quiet, because it will reveal the facade he's had for all these years. And I mean, I just wonder if there's like a sliver of truth to that. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it wasn't exactly like that, but it's a very, very flawed person, with this superstar charisma in life, and everybody loves him, kind of like Keanu Reeves, and underneath it all, he's really a dirtbag. And I'm kind of wondering if there's a sliver of truth to that. So yeah, I don't know. His girlfriend, a lot of people like him because he dates a woman closer to his age range, age appropriate girlfriend. He's not dating some 25-year-old as a 60-year-old man and being a creep. I guess, but she's highly pretentious. She comes from a very pretentious world. She's really good friends with Gwyneth Paltrow, and everybody under the sun makes fun of Gwyneth Paltrow because she's so out of touch. She's so elitist. She's so unrelatable. The average woman isn't wanting to shove like a $500 rock up her pussy. I hate to say it that way, but I mean, it is what it is. And the average person doesn't want to like spend all this money doing all this bullshit. Who the fuck's here? The average woman doesn't want to spend all this money. She sells like $500 yoga mats on her website. Where the average woman, we go to Marshalls or TJ Maxx and buy one for like 10 or 20 bucks. You know what I mean? So, and we're fine with that. A little upper scale for the average woman is like getting a yoga mat from Lululemon or something. So, yeah, just out of touch people, and they're trying to talk about what life is, and yeah, nobody wants anything to do with it. It's just out of touch. It's tone deaf. I just don't want to hear it from celebrities. We don't need to hear that from people that are not in our life, in our real life for real. I just saw an interview on Entertainment Tonight about a child actor. He was on Who's the Boss. I don't know if you're my age or a little older, like in the 40 to like 50, 55 age range, you'll remember the TV show Who's the Boss back in the 80s and 90s. Tony Danza, huge show. And the child star actor, where he's doing now? He's an Amazon delivery driver because he says that the royalty checks that he cuts from that show, once it became syndicated and everything, he doesn't make that much money. And he's like, yeah, I mean, the average actor is broke. He's like, everybody just sees the 1%, this mega celebrity, and forgets that there's a whole other realm of actors. And it's just like, I mean, what's next? I mean, he's dating the ultra elite, pretentious ass girlfriend that's tone deaf and out of touch and friends with those types of people. I mean, I saw the book he did with that girl, his girlfriend, and it was tone deaf and out of touch. It was a bunch of weird photos of him posed in crazy ways and in shadows and stuff, and he was trying to get all Jungian and stuff. And I'm a highly intellectual person. I've studied all that. I've read Jung, I've read Man and His Symbols and all that good stuff. I get it. It's just I'm still a real person in the real world, and I'm not gonna like start posing in shadows and doing all this weird shit, you know what I mean? And it's just like, because they take it to that place, and not even Carl Jung himself was like that. So And yeah, I mean, once you get to a certain financial level and you're in certain social circles and stuff like that, I mean, I get it. You know, you're probably going to have a touch of that to you. But, um, I mean, don't try to like play it off as like the real world and real life and try to give us life advice and life isn't supposed to be. You think we don't know that life isn't easy? Are you fucking kidding me right now? No, I'm not out to make life easier or harder, Yeah, I would prefer it to be easier. No, I would prefer life to be sane, like some actual logic and reason used, some actual sanity. Because like I've showed time and time again, I'm really not the problem. Like when I go to work, I'm really not the problem. I'm not saying I'm the solution, but I'm definitely not the problem usually. Um, it's people harassing me, and then they twist it and turn it around to try to make me the bad guy, make me the monster. And, people get fed up with that shit. And it's insane. It's not just unprofessional, it's insane behavior. So, yeah, I mean, like, I'm pretty well fed up. We don't care to hear about what the 1% has to tell us about life isn't easy, blah, blah, blah. As if our broke asses weren't aware of that. Talk about preaching to the choir. I mean, these 1% cunts, I'm sorry, but they're cunty. Yeah, I mean, they're tone deaf. And it's just like, if you're gonna hate one of them, there is no such thing as, people are dealing with this and figuring this out with the whole Becca Bloom thing. If you don't know who Becca Bloom is, she's like a rich talker. And for a long time, people like fangirled her because they all said she did rich right. And then she started making some very interesting comments and showcasing some weird mindsets that people were getting more and more uncomfortable with. And then people really started like lifting the veil. And, they're just, normal people came in that aren't usually like, their eyes don't glass over because of glam and glitz, you know what I mean? They can see past that. And they were just like, yeah, she's just a rich asshole, she's just soft-spoken and cutesy sometimes, so you don't see it right off, some people, but she's just another rich asshole. And then she's been all but banned, like not banned, but like shunned from average society. Like people are sick of her. She only lasted for like a year or two. And I mean, yeah, because I mean, if you've seen her videos, it's showing her like get out like $1,000 Versace dinner plate, and she's plating like quail eggs and caviar for her cat to eat, and it's just like, I feel like I'm doing good if I can give my little Boo Bear one Shiba meat food a day, so, and a 2-pack of Shiba is like $1 or something, now, like, I made sure we could afford that for her the entire time she was hardcore nursing the kittens, so she would have the extra nutrition. But like now we've had to like slow her down, and because you cannot believe how much, like, for a while I was feeding her 2 a day. I was feeding her a pack a day, and we were buying like the 24 packs, and I was feeding her a pack of that a day, and she was eating kibble, and I mean, she was shitting like 5 times a day. It was a nightmare, but I dealt with it because she was nursing 5 kittens. But that's what I'm saying, she's spending like upwards of like, and she didn't make the caviar and the quail egg, boiled quail eggs for her cat. Her personal chef did. And that's what I'm saying. You can't go out and like cherry pick, the rich people you think are nice people, because none of them are nice. I mean, have we not learned our lesson? Look at what James Charles did. Some of them might be a little bit classier about it, or a little bit smarter, have more experience with it, but none of them are nice. You think if that Spirit Airlines person had messaged Keanu Reeves for $5,000 or even like $1,000 or whatever, one, it would go to his like, it might make it to his manager or his agent or something, but it's just gonna be tossed aside with, I'm sure, the 1,000 other requests he gets a day, and collect dust. But that's what I'm saying. It kind of reads a little James Charlesy. Like, life, you shouldn't expect life to be easy. You need to do. And what did James Charles just say to that spirit? Why are you asking me for money? You need to go get another job and work, bitch. I mean, it's a much more toned down version of that, but it's the same thing said in a different way. So stop thinking these rich people give a fuck about you. I mean, enjoy them for what they are, but stop thinking they give a fuck, or that they relate to you, or you can actually relate to them if you met them and knew them in real life. Because you don't. And I mean, I don't know if they're just like in their little money bubble or what, but like the average American is really fed up with the 1%. I mean, the money gap between the average middle class person and the average 1%er is insane. And I mean, just stop fooling yourself that these people are like real people, because they're not. Maybe in their social circles, maybe they're more real, but for somebody like you or me, the average person, they are not real. He's got a super hyper pretentious artist girlfriend, and by the way, her art career only took off after she started dating him. It's not like she was some well-known, wide-known artist. Everybody knows her name now because she's dating Keanu Reeves. And, he started doing art with her. And I mean, there's artists and then there's art. And, it's just like art for art's sake, and it's pretentious, and it just... I mean, they made a book. They sell it for $10,000 a copy or something like crazy like that. Do you not get it that he is an elitist, pretentious, fucking rich asshole that is completely tone deaf and he doesn't have the slightest clue of what the average person goes through? And he can do all the little PR stunts he wants and like lay on the ground with the homeless person and smoke cigarettes and sit on a bench and eat a sandwich and whatever, but I mean, come off of it. He's just another elitist, pretentious, rich asshole that you are never, ever going to relate to. And I think a lot of women, got more fantastical about him when he started dating that woman, because they're like, oh, well, I'm 30, 40, or 50, blah, 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 whatever age range you are. Maybe I can land me something like that, You need to have like damn near or near like Gwyneth Paltrow elitist pretentious mindsets for a guy like him to even give you a second thought. And the thing is like, yeah, his baby and his baby mama is really tragic, and it's really interesting because his baby mama seems like the complete antithesis of what his current girlfriend is. And yeah, I mean, and if she had lived, it would just be another Nepo baby. I mean, he's a good looking man. I'm sure he would have had a beautiful child, but I mean, she would have just been like some ultra rich, snobby, bratty kid grown up in a snobby, bratty, ultra rich way. And $10, she would try to go into music or movies, or she would probably have her own fucking cosmetics line or some bullshit like the rest of them do. I mean, they're all the same. It's all different and all the same. And I mean, yeah, sure, some of them I like more than others. Some of them seem, some of them actually do seem like halfway nice. Am I ever under the guise of thinking that they're like, ever gonna relate to me or ever give a fuck about somebody average like myself? No. But I mean, they seem like they would be nice enough people. Do I get that from him? No. If I was going to say somebody was like nice, and I use that term very loosely, like Matthew McConaughey or Woody Harrelson, they seem like much more nice guys than Keanu Reeves does. Like way more down to earth, way more, maybe not relatable, but there's elements to them that I could relate to. Are you okay? You guys are crazy. I know babies. I know babies. Are you a cute little baby? My little babies. Yeah. You love your little belly rubs. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look at this little nugget, little fatty. You a fatty. Yeah. Chubby baby. Yeah. You're so cute. Come here, you. Come here, you. Wanna say hi? Is that you? Wanna say hi? Hey. Break it up. Damn it. Hey, guys. Hey. Okay, why is the biggest, meanest one picking on the runt? Hey! Come here, baby. Let me get you away from that meanie bully. Hold on. Come here, babes. Come here, baby. That's Rainbow. She's the runt of the litter, and she's super cute. She's so shy. She's got the shyest, sweetest personality. I know, kissies are just the worst. We're too busy for that. Hi, baby. Baby. Hello, Rainbow. You pretty little rainbow. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, just get your head out of the clouds. I mean, I just don't know how he landed. I think because he has, like, what people consider, like, an acceptable tragic backstory, that they just make up things about him and ways he is that he isn't. And the thing is he's tried to fight it some. He tries to, like, combat a lot of that bullshit. But people still keep getting it in their head. This is the big one. He's the biggest of the litter. He's a big boy. And he's a rascal. He's a bad baby. You're a bad boy. This is Moonshine. Moon. You're a bad baby. Looks just like his mama. He got it from his mama. So, no rain. So, yeah, I mean, please just get this shit out of your head. They don't care about you. They don't. And, like, any philanthropic efforts they have or want to have, it's them putting on a tux or a nice dress and going to a charity event, and they might donate a bunch of money, but the money they donate is all a tax write-off. I mean, what's next? What are we going to hear out of him next? That he's voting for Trump and fuck SAG? I mean, just come off of it. So yeah, I mean, stop quoting rich people about life, for starters. That would be a really good place to start. Because, I mean, I think everybody's been very clear that we've really had it. And, I am fully supportive of people that make it out of shitty life situations. And I was really supportive and highly supportive of people such as, the Jacqueline Hills and, the Kathleen Lights and people of that nature getting, they weren't in like dire situations, but, getting out of bad situations, not great financial situations, making it. Do they always handle it the best? No. But, I mean, they're for damn sure no James Charles either. So, I mean, you know, you all took him with a grain of salt and didn't take them with, a grain of salt at all. And, that's another thing is like the whole James Charles thing, and I saw somebody talking about it on TikTok and she was just like, you put that boy up on a pedestal and you keep him up there and then made him famous and rich and then slept on a whole other people that are way more talented, way smarter, way better, and didn't give them a second chance or a second glance. And, they actually have the skill set, the personality, and all the rest of it to back it up. And, they're still scraping by or, nowhere near to that level of fame. And it's true. I don't know if, like, Americans have, like, a certain masochism for who they make rich and famous. And it's weird. And, I mean, I'm talking in facts here. I mean, I think you all have, like, you've beat your feelings to death. Because you have. And that was, like, way a long time ago. But, I mean, at this point, and look where it's got you. Look at the state of America. All because everybody wanted to be, like, so caught up in their feelings. I'm not saying don't have feelings. I'm saying you've been caught up in them so bad. And, I mean, I've shown my blog and the rest of it, case after case after case of people acting absurd because they're caught up in their feelings. And feelings aren't facts. And the facts don't care about your feelings. And, and sure, get caught up in your feelings occasionally. That's fine. But, I mean, you people are just caught up in your feelings all the time, and it's about bullshit. And then you glorify these assholes, and then you just act so super shocked and awed and blah, blah, blah that they turn out to be exactly what they are, an asshole. He might be a little too old, and he came up at a different time, so, and, he's so rich and got such high-end people in place, anything that would be massive detrimental to his career would probably be squashed really fast. But, I mean, bigger, badder people have been taken down than Keanu Reeves, but he is older, but you never know, something could come out about the dude. And then I just gonna sit there. I told you so. I told you he's a fucking asshole. But regardless, I mean, the signs are there. It's just like you people don't want to see them. You're trying. It's like you're willfully ignorant. You're willfully trying not to see it. And that's just unacceptable anymore. Because it's there. All that shit is there for you to see and put two and two together. And, I don't want a lot of hate. I don't need 2 years of messages from Keanu. That's another thing, is I made that video and I ended up getting harassed nonstop for over 2 years by somebody pretending to be Keanu, not just Keanu Reeves, but Keanu Reeves' mom. It's just writing me absurd, crazy messages all the time. All because I made that video. I've had to take Pinterest off my phone at times. I have to block everything. I have to keep my Pinterest account private so I can't be messaged. I mean, talk about absurd. And listen, I work in law, and yeah, I mean, I'm well aware it's likely, probably not Keanu Reeves and his mom. That would be really weird. And talk about a really weird career move. But you never know, though. You know, some people snap. But regardless, you know, the level of harassment I'm enduring, I could very, very, very easily, you know, take a little bit of legal action against Keanu myself. I mean, I've seriously considered it a time or two. I know who his. I've looked up his agent. I know who his law firm is. And I mean, I've had half a mind at times to bang out a cease and desist and send it to them because I'm fed up. And I have all the screenshots. I have all the evidence, and I'm not trying to, like, you know, say it is or isn't Keanu. I'm more than willing to say, you know, I can't make a evidence-based decision that it is or isn't Keanu, and I would definitely lean towards logic that it likely isn't, but it still does not warrant this level of harassment, and it's done under his name. And, you know, I'm the one being harassed. So if he wants to take legal action, he can figure out who the fuck's doing it and have at it. But, I mean, that's where I'm at with it. And, you know, and that's what I'm saying, you know, people that fangirl Keanu that hard, people that fangirl Eminem that hard, people that fangirl these crazy celebrities acting like they would ever give half a fuck about you for real. I mean, just get your head out of your ass already. Your fandom does not get to bleed over and project into my life, especially not to the level you all have taken it. And definitely keep your feelings to yourself. That's what therapists are for. If you want to bitch all day about your feelings, hire a therapist. They're paid to give half a shit. I mean, if you had real feelings about some very serious real life shit happening to you, yeah, they probably would give a full shit. But I mean, a lot of you are coming off like you would go to a therapist office and cry about mommy not getting you a Barbie doll when you're 5 years old. That is not why I go out to therapy. I mean, that's how you're coming off. You're coming off that entitled, spoiled, and bratty. Yeah, I mean, it's just like you people are fucking clueless about people, the real world, life. And I'm for damn sure not going to have some rich asshole try to tell me what life's about. Sitting up on his fucking all Scrooge McDuck on his piles of money on Mount Olympus, and then try to, like, come down and smite the rest of us about what life is. And life isn't supposed to be easy. Oh, coming from you. Fucking assholes. I mean, you all need to, like, remove the wool that you've put over your own eyes. Because he's not put wool over your eyes. I mean, maybe to some degree, but I mean, like I said, you know, even he's, like, try to, like, play it down to some degree, because he knows he's a human being. He knows he's fallible, and I'm sure he has some skeletons in his closet, because most people do, especially in that world. I mean, get your head out of the clouds. And yeah, I mean, I just do not need the harassment, you know? So if you don't agree with my video, fine, but keep it to your damn self. And leave me alone. Because I am basing my opinion off facts, not my feelings. And this is coming from somebody that I made a video almost 3 years ago and spent 2 years being harassed by it, all because of a crazed Keanu Reeves fan. And trust me, I was already, that video is me talking about cooling on the guy already. So pretty much talking about this very same type of thing. And after all that happened, I watch his movies very objectively. I'm not there to get lost in a movie. I am studying and being highly critical of everything about it from every angle. It's not because I'm a fan. And I wasn't really like a fangirl before. I just really liked his movies. I tend not to be like hyper fangirl about things. Yeah, like Harry Potter, but I'm fangirling Harry Potter. I'm not like obsessed with the actors' lives that played them. I mean, I know a little bit about them, but I don't know if they live in the United States or the UK. I know that was a big deal. Like Emma Watson went to like some Ivy League school. I think she went to Harvard or something a long time ago. That was a big deal, but I don't know who they're dating. You know what I mean? Like, I fangirl Harry Potter, not the people. I mean, I respect them. I mean, I think they're great actors, but same with like I just rewatched Lord of the Rings. I fangirl the books. I read the books. I read The Hobbit. I read Lord of the Rings and all of it. And I can't say the word right. Silmarillion. I can never say that word right, but I mean, I read all the books, and then the movies came out. I reread the books, and I love the books. Same with Dune. I read the books. I love the books. I grew up on the old school '80s movie with Kyle MacLachlan. But could I tell you the first thing about Kyle MacLachlan's life, personal life? Fuck no. Because I fangirl the books. I fangirl the world building, the world itself, not the actual people playing the parts. Yeah, so I mean, there's a difference. You all are coming off like, you're fangirling him and his life. And the reason why I only know so much about his life anymore is because I've had to. Because, like, people are coming at me in such crazy ways. Also, his life is definitely in the public eye, and, you'll be reading the news, and it's there whether you like to see it or not. Keanu Reeves is out with his girlfriend. Is marriage coming soon? When are they getting married? I don't know, guys. The guy's 60 what now? He's never having any kids. He's in his mid to late 60s by now. He hasn't been married yet. I highly doubt he's getting married. Highly doubt it. I mean, she's an older woman. I highly doubt she's in the market for kids. So, they probably just want to be super rich and live their super rich lifestyle and be happy. It's not like he's gonna like magically, she's like in her 50s. He's not gonna knock that up. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm really sick of it. And do not come at me because you fangirl the dude. Because, sure, yeah, I liked his movies. But, I mean, I had questions about my ex husband because we were dating in high school when The Matrix came out. And I love seeing it in the theater the first time or two. But he made us see that in the theater like 10 times. I'm not joking. And I started wondering about him. So, I mean, Yeah, I mean, it was a great movie, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I mean, seeing it in the theater a few times was enough for me. But my ex-husband wanted to see it a trillion times. He did the same thing with Fight Club, and that's fine. But yeah, I mean, you know, nobody knew all that crazy about Brad Pitt. Everybody thought he was kind of like an asshole because of what he did to Jennifer Aniston in the whole like love triangle thing. And sure, yeah, maybe. Um, but like, all the reports started coming out about what he did to Angelina Jolie on that plane, and like the crazy drinking problem he had for years, and like all kinds of crazy stuff has come out about him that you don't ever really see reports on. And he's been in the industry about as long as Keanu has, and it's taken 40 years for skeletons to come out of the closet. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised if it all turned around and we found out that Keanu has some nasty little skeletons in the closet. And by the way, before he dated, what's her name, Alexandra something, before he started dating her, there is photo after photo after photo of Keanu in like his late 40s, 50s, dating 20-year-old after 20-year-old after 20-year-old, 20 to 30, being the typical skeezy, dirty old man, dating hot youngies. So, I mean, I also get the feeling like his whole relationship with Alexandra is a bit of a PR stunt. So, I mean, and, that's how those people work. How is this relationship going to benefit my career? That's how they think. And you need to get your head out of the clouds because that's how they think. So, I wouldn't be surprised if his relationship with her was just like a really good, solid friendship with maybe a few benefits here and there. And they just do it all for the cameras. And he's out, fucking 20-year-old actress after 20-year-old actress behind the scenes. And because if you look at his dating life, before she came along, it was 25-year-old after 25-year-old after 25-year-old. There's a million pictures all over the internet about it. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody gives him all this praise about dating that girl, but before her, it was a lot of really, really hot youngies before her. And he was like in his late 40s, 50s, and he's dating like 20 somethings. And it's a lot of them. I mean, he was a major slutty. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, just get your head out of the clouds. Like his whole like comeback and all the rest of it, it's all such a very clear PR stunt. And what's worse is you all fell for it. You all fall for it, and then you just come back and you're like, they're such an asshole, and you're like, well, yeah, it was there the whole time. You just didn't want to see it. And and the psychotic crazy of harassing me for years with that Keanu message creepy shit is just fucking insane. Like I said, I was already cooling on the guy, and after going through that, I've never met him. I don't know him personally, but I fucking hate him. Like I fucking hate that dude. Like he's in the same realm as like Eminem and stuff to me. Like I've never met Eminem. I don't know him, but people purposely used Eminem and Shade. It's like there's a whole website dedicated to Eminem and Shade to be used against me and shady feelings to completely invalidate everything about my life. And it's been going on for a decade. Like he's about in the same realm as Eminem because I spent years being harassed by Keanu crazies. And yeah, to a certain degree, as a celebrity, you are to a certain degree responsible for your fans. Yes, I mean you have a responsibility to keep your fandom in check. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I want nothing to do with the guy. If I watch his films, it's completely from an objective point of view. It's not because I'm trying to get lost in his movies. And really, with, by the time you have John Wick 5 million and all the rest of it, um, there's nothing to get lost in. His movies aren't that good. So, I mean, kind of. I mean, he's, like I said, he's not exactly well known for his acting ability. I mean, he's not exactly like a great actor. So, I mean, he's not the worst, but he's not great. I mean, he really skirted by and I mean, he got lucky with the Matrix, but I mean, until then, he was skirting by on his some charisma and good looks. Do I think he was a better actor when he was younger? Yeah. He's definitely gotten lazy. But I mean, a lot of them have. A lot of them, they sell out and they do Oceans 30, that kind of thing. And it's just, it's pretty much like watching Brad Pitt, Matt Damon, and George Clooney rob a casino. I don't think of them as their character. It's just like, okay, George Clooney's robbing a casino. Okay. So, I mean, kind of. Like, oh, okay, John Wick 12,000. Okay, we're still doing this. All right, so it's basically just Keanu Reeves waving a gun around and karate kicking. I mean, kind of. And I hate to say it because on a personal level, Tom Cruise does not come off as the greatest guy. And I'm really against Scientology. Like, it's not my thing. I'm not religious anyways, but that's really not my thing. And, but damn it, I mean, there's a few of them, but almost every Tom Cruise movie that comes out, it's a goddamn good movie. He's a good actor. And it just kills me because he's kind of a weird person and kind of very strange and strange religion in real life. But his movies are fucking good. He's an actual good actor. And that's what I'm saying. It almost doesn't matter as long as he doesn't do something completely crazy, like murder somebody or do something fucking insane. His career doesn't suffer because he's bankable. He's a good actor. But I mean, Keanu Reeves is just a name. He's not known for his acting. The whole John Wick thing, it was a lot of people from the Matrix coming back to do the movie. He was just selling on Matrix buzz still. Matrix 4 was awful. So, yeah, I mean, I was upset that I wasted the money on a movie ticket. Matrix 4 sucked. So, please do not come and attack me. Especially don't attack me about the facts and me forming a logic, reason-based opinion based off the facts. And you really don't get to be mad at me about my opinion after all the crazy I've endured because of that dude. All because I was, drunk at Christmas and my mom was dying, and I was just trying to get my mind off something. And it's like, I don't get it. Like, everybody else gets every break in the world, and it's just like, I'm 42. When I made that video, I was like 39, 40. I am legally allowed to drink. And it's not like I'm drinking every day. Far from it. I'm allowed to drink and make a YouTube video. There's nothing illegal about that. There's nothing immoral about that. It's not like I was talking a bunch of crazy shit. It's the whole thing from yesterday in TikTok. I wasn't talking about anything illegal. I was talking about my reaction to people that were doing insane level illegal shit to me. And I'm sorry, but if you have a gun in your face, let's hear what you have to say about it. Let me point a gun in your face and let's see what comes flying out your damn mouth. Exactly. That is not how it works. And by the way, there's videos all over my YouTube about all that. It's not some crazy extreme story. It happened. Not only did it happen, I spent the better part of a year in a women's abuse shelter to be hidden from my family and my ex-husband and his family because they were so out of line. They were so fucking crazy. Yeah, I'm real sorry people are, your feelings are hurt that I'm never taking my family back. I'm never forgiving them. They're never coming back into my life. That's a decision they made for themselves and acted upon. They have to live with that. It is no longer my problem. I let them go. I'm okay. I'm very fine with moving on with my life. I have been trying to. Everybody else has to. It's baffling because you all spent all that energy and all that crazy towards me because I was trying to be close to my family and my kid, and you all went to that degree of insanity. And it's just like, okay, well, I'll fuck off then. And then now everybody's like all up in arms. Fuck off. I mean, fuck off. You have no idea what you're talking about there. You have no idea what kind of dangerous people they are because they are dangerous. I mean, you all are just so head in the clouds, way out of line. I mean, you're just in la la land. And then you wonder why you all get fucking hoodwinked by somebody like James Charles time and time again. I mean, at this point, with how many times you all forgiven a motherfucker like that for the things he said and done, unprovoked, he's usually provoking it. You deserve to be had at this point. At what point are you asking for it? You deserve to be had. You're out of your goddamn minds. I'm sorry, but I mean, you all have had years of knowing what he is, how he acts, how he behaves, all the rest of it. At what point are you asking for it? You deserve to be had. And that's another thing. It's like, I'm done talking till I'm blue in the face to try to get reason and logic and any semblance of sanity into your all's brains and cut the victim mentality shit. And it's just, I might as well just talk to a fucking wall anymore. That's how I feel about it. And it's just like, and if that's where we're at, you need to go your way, I'm going my way. Cool. Be the adult already. Go your way and leave me alone. Every part of my life alone. Go your way. I mean, my parents made those choices for themselves. They wanted to take it to their deathbed. They want to take it to their grave to be shitty parents to me. And I'm real sorry you have a problem with the fact that they're the parent. It's on them to make it right. But that is the reality. I didn't come after them with guns. I didn't have like some crazy, raging, wild drug problem. I didn't like do crazy junky shit to them. You know, like I wasn't, I've never been that person or that kid. The problems were made by them. They were the junkies. They're the ones that pulled guns on me. Now, if I had been like a crazy junkie kid and pulled guns on them, sure, yeah, it's on me to make that right. But that was not the case. It was them. They have to be accountable for that, and they don't want to be. But at the same time, and they did it to the tune of pushing me out so hard that it's impossible for me to come back. They don't get to come back. They don't have those options anymore. Everybody from my life before, you don't get to come back. You don't get to spend all that energy, all that time hating me and telling me I'm not allowed to love my own kid, telling me I'm not allowed to love my own family, and then turning my whole family against me. Do you know how insane that is? And then you spend all that time and you do turn my family against me. You do turn my kid against me. And all I did was give my child everything. All I did was try to be there for my family. And it's just like, you don't get to spend that level of energy and action and hate towards somebody for a decade and think you get to just waltz right back into my life. That is not how that works. You are not coming back. And I'm really sorry people take issue to that. Nobody has apologized for real. Nobody had, or at all. Nobody has been accountable for their actions and their part in everything. Nobody has taken any steps towards that. They don't want to. They want to keep their head in the sand. Fine, but keep your victim mentality bullshit away from me. Keep your bullshit out of my life. Don't fucking come back around. And the Keanu crazies, stay the fuck away. That is how it is. You know, who I was 10 years ago, 11, 12 years ago. I mean, a lot of me is still the same, and a lot of me isn't. I mean, people naturally change over time, but I've been through so much. Yeah, I mean, I've changed a lot as a person. And that person who I was all those years ago is not coming back. That's just not coming back. I don't want to see my ex-husband again. I don't want to see my family again. I don't want to see all my old friends again. I don't care. I have moved on with my life. I'm okay to some level, but get out of my life. And like all that Keanu bullshit, I mean, like that's who I was 10 years ago, 12 years ago. That's gone now. I mean, he didn't do anything specific to me that I know of, but, you know, his fan base definitely did. And I mean, that's enough for me. You know, that's enough crazy for me to be like, yeah, there's something about that person. It's really not right. So, I mean, same thing with like the Eminem fans. I was never a fan of Eminem. You know, I never really listened to his music. I knew him, but, you know, I mean, his videos, like, were always on TRL, you know, as a kid and stuff, as a teenager. But, I mean, I know his music, but no, I mean, I was never going out and buying his CDs and listening to his music and all that crap. And, yeah, I mean, anybody that's like hardcore fangirling him, do what you want. I'm not here to tell you what to listen to, but keep it the fuck out of my life. You don't get to project it all into my life. Because then I'll start projecting like my music. I'll project like fucking Bon Iver on you. That'll get your crazy asses to fall asleep real fast. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I just don't care. I don't watch movies or listen to music in some fantasy land thinking that I'm that person or I'll ever know that person or I'm going to be best friends with that person. I mean, something about that piece of art I relate to, but it ends there. And, I'm not in it to try to like be in Hollywood or know Hollywood people. I don't care. And I'm sure if I met a lot of them in real life, I would fucking hate them. I am just not, I'm not glassed over and, stars in my eyes by all the glitz and glam. It just does not faze me. So, I mean, it takes a different type of mindset, a different type of person to impress me. And behaving the way everybody's behaved, I am not impressed. Talk about trashy behavior. Talk about trashy, classless behavior. And I think it's very unclassy and very trashy of a one percenter to try to tell the average person that life isn't easy as if they know the first thing about it. That's a very trash move. I mean, get a fucking clue already, man.